Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the eSports Report. I'm Chris Puckett, and on today's show, well, we got a lot to talk about. At 3 a.m., we got some Halo news. So we'll be talking Halo 5 with some legends. We got my good buddy Flamesword coming on the show, as well as Saucy Source from Beyond Entertainment. Now, a little bit later in the show, we'll be covering everything that has gone down in the Call of Duty MLG Season 2 League. Also, we'll be talking about Titanfall at the start of the show. And at 5 o'clock on the dot, no matter what's happening in the show, we have a challenge, a man versus food style challenge here at MLG. As you may know, all MLG staff members are extremely competitive. We have a record set by Adam Apicella, the EVP of Operations, one of the first 5 that came on board here at MLG. He did the Nugget Challenge, 20 McNuggets in less than 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Today, MLG's IT super guru and man behind all of the events, we have Mr. Roll taking on that challenge. Esports. Yeah, this is important news. But first, let's talk about real news. We got Titanfall with a major update yesterday. And this is a game I wanted to start providing a little bit more coverage on here on the eSports Report. Of course, there's no spectator mode, so it's very hard for us to go in and find good highlights from the biggest matches. But the competitive scene is living on in Titanfall. After a rough start, it looks like things are starting to come together. And today, I want to welcome our first guest on the show. We have Alfredo Diaz from IGN joining us, one of the associate producers. Alfredo, you're calling from your cell phone. Appreciate you taking the time to come on the eSports Report. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. It's been a busy day with all the Halo 5 little bits of news that's dropping here and there. How are you guys doing?
Really good. As you said, really busy as always. Well, I know you work as an associate producer for IGN, but on top of that, you're also one of the best Titanfall players in the country. You're on Game Battles with the #1 team. Is it Zen? Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, Team Zen. We currently have 5 tournaments under our belt. We're going to be going over to RTX, which Iron Gaming is holding one of the first LAN events. And we are currently leading the Game Battle season ladder. 111-1, something like that.
I was going to say, not a bad record. 111 and just 1 loss. What happened in that 1 loss?
We played against a team that we've beaten time and time again. They're a good Dom team, and we just kind of slept on them, you know?
Gotcha.
That's so simple as that.
Okay, I was making sure, there's no cheating involved. It sounds like a real loss there, unfortunately, but almost a perfect record. 111-1. Now, the Game Battles ladder, we have $1,500 prize pool for free. It's free to enter right now. You guys are in the lead on that ladder. And there's also a tournament coming up on May 24th for $500 free to enter there. You guys could be playing in that upcoming tournament?
Yeah, we'll be playing in that tournament, and we'll also be playing on this tomorrow. So it's Friday. Yeah, tomorrow's 5v5 variant. So that'll be fun. Game Battles right now is holding a lot of tournaments. A lot of 2v2, 3v3s, variants with different game modes. Some that are just LTS. So yeah, weekly, all the time.
So for the competitive Call of Duty players and the fans that are tuning into today's show, can you give them a little bit of background of where has Titanfall competitive gaming started and where is it at currently?
Oh, I mean, Titanfall is a current competitive game. It's very small, and honestly, it's a little bit scary. Just because of the fact that right out of the gates, you came out and private matches weren't available. You know, you had people who were looking at this game, they wanted it to be competitive, and it very well is a competitive type of game, but there's so many things that need to be tweaked, and these tweaks are rolling out really slowly. Like I said, private matches came out, a little while after the game was released, and after that, we're still trickling out. We're still in the private match beta, so there's a lot of things that still need to be fixed. I just said earlier, we don't have spectator mode, so it's a type of thing where right now it's just the Titanfall community needs to just kind of roll with the punches, I guess, and kind of understand that Respawn is trying to support the competitive scene, but they're a very small team, and this is a new IP, so they need to be given a chance and time to get behind the competitive players as a whole. But I mean, the updates are rolling out quick. They're rolling out a lot of updates. There's been a lot of big updates. But I think just going back to the topic, people automatically want the COD treatment for Titanfall, and I think that's something where everyone needs to kind of just slow down and say, like, hey, when COD, I remember when I play Rainbow Six Vegas professionally, COD just came out. People were like, I don't know about this COD taking off in the pro scene, and everyone hopped over and put their time and work and effort into it, and it ended up becoming a huge deal. Right. So I think like I said, we just need to roll with the punches.
Yeah, and as you said, Titanfall is new. In fact, it was kind of the first game that really made people go out and buy the Xbox One, in my opinion. And in any of those cases, anytime you see a new game for a new console, there's a lot of pressure on the developer to get the game out and get it out as fast as possible. Not always as complete as they may want it to be. And as you said, slow updates are coming out. But in this most recent patch, I found some of the best updates coming in. I saw your tweet about capture the flag.
Yes, that's something. Yeah, go on.
I was going to say, talk to me a little bit about what happened in this most recent patch. What are some of the new esports improvements we're seeing?
Yeah, so in the recent patch, we got a little bit more of an update for private matches. We have the ability to set score limits, time limits now, pilot health, you can tweak that. You can turn the minimap on and off. But I think one of the important things is that we can now do things like adjust the respawn timers, and most importantly, the Titan build times. Right now, the competitive Titanfall scene is really trying to figure out like what works and what doesn't. So the minute something comes up where we can start to tweak things, we're automatically the top teams are in there. We're trying to figure out like what to do here and there. But they did very sneakily Respawn snuck in the ability. Well, they changed it. You don't have the ability to do flag runs anymore, and that wasn't in the patch notes. That's just something that we were playing. We're like, how come I can't grab the flag and run into a Titan and just dash back? So yeah, Titans they have very, very limited ability to interact. You can't grab a flag, get in your Titan, and run it back. When the flag drops, usually the Titan can carry it and either pick it up and run it, keep running with it, or they can get the return with a Titan. But you can't do that. The only way you can actually interact now is if you are a pilot. But you can still, let's say, grab the flag and then get on a Titan, and then the Titan can take you somewhere.
And that is what I realized in my first 5 minutes of playing Capture the Flag when Titanfall first dropped. Is like, if they make this one little change, this game mode could become awesome. So they've made the change. Titans can no longer grab or return the flag. You actually have to get out if you kill the flag runner to return it. I think that's a huge move. And talk to me a little bit about the game modes that are being preferred by the competitive community. Is CTF going to be up in that list of game modes they'll want to see in a best-of-5 series?
CTF, I believe, would be probably the highlight of competitive Titanfall, just simply because of the fact that it really utilizes everything that Titanfall has to offer. Titans, right? You have the Titan warfare, so top teams are going to be worried about Titan control on the map. But most importantly, especially with this new flag update, it's really going to force players to be even better than what they are now. It's going to force them to learn all the aspects of a map. It's going to force pilots to not just run around like it's Call of Duty. It's going to force them to wall run, learn the fastest flag routes, learn the fastest routes to rush. And it's not going to be running from point A to B. It's going to be bouncing off the walls, and it's going to be bunny hopping here and there. So CTF will really utilize all that all together. So I see CTF definitely being in there. The Last Titan Standing is very, very intense and competitive. It might be a little too slow paced. We might need to take out things like the particle wall, stuff like that. Right. And then, of course, domination is just a given.
I love it. So I wanted to kind of ask you, because honestly, I haven't had time to put together my team on game battles and get in and play Titanfall competitively. At best, I have 3 friends on Xbox One at any time that are willing to play Titanfall. So I've never had the opportunity to go in and play a competitive 5 versus 5. What are some of the differences you see in competitive Titanfall versus when you're just playing by yourself in the pubs?
Teamwork. I mean, in pubs, like it said, one of the most important things for competitive Titanfall is Titan control. If the other team has 5 Titans up on you and they have a solid mixture of Titans, arc cannons, 40 millimeters, and chain guns, then they're just going to completely control the board for as long as it takes for you guys to get your Titans back up. So it's just very different in the sense of, just like I said, Titan control, period. And just teamwork, having people, the obvious, having people cover your backs and call outs, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all right, so basic stuff there, as I expected, but I'm sure the competition, it becomes so fun. When I do play competitive, it's Last Titan Standing, and like you said, it can be really slow, but those coordinated pushes. Oh, that's the best moment in the game.
It's intense. It can be. Yeah, definitely. We've definitely lost a couple maps the last time standing. We had some really, really close maps. So, yeah, definitely.
I like it. Well, not only did we get the new patch and some new changes to the game modes, but we're also seeing some new maps in the DLC. We have Swampland coming out.
Yes.
And kind of talk to me through each of the new maps. Swampland, it seems like an outdoor forest, and most importantly, I saw all kinds of tree-to-tree wall running, which looks spectacular.
Right. Well, I think Swampland as a whole is going to be good for one specific thing. Swampland's going to be good for Capture the Flag. It's not a good Dom map at all, just because of the fact that all 3 cap points are you can actually take them over and cap them with a Titan. So that's the type of thing where like a lot of competitive players don't like that too much. Usually it's better. The pace is a lot better when there's just one capture point that can be taken over by a Titan. Right. So you're going to see CTF being utilized on that map and probably the last Titan standing. We're still testing that out.
And what about Runoff? What are your thoughts after just a few days of playing Runoff?
Runoff, I think it's going to be more of an LTS type map, definitely. I think that's where you're going to see just LTS. Yeah.
Titan on Titan. All right, so Runoff, it seems like 2 different levels on this one. Not very pilot-friendly. Moving on to the next one, we got War Games, and War Games is something that I was pretty excited about when I saw this video. Very basic, very simple geometry around the map, but lots of opportunities to do some wall running. Talk to me about the new game, the new map, War Games.
War Games is, what can I say, with the competitive scene, it's the new hotness. It's just a competitive player's dream, just because of the fact that you can wall run everywhere. You can really utilize, like, it's somewhat of a smaller map comparatively to other maps like Nexus, and it's just LTS. We're still playing with it, playing around with it. It seems like a viable option. CTF is definitely there. Lots of flag rounds, lots of strategy that goes into it, and Dom's pretty solid too. Actually, I would say.
I like it. So it can do all the game modes so far. What's your favorite to play on War Games?
I mean, our team, Zen, is really based around CTF. I think our team right now is just the reason why we're so dominant is because we have the best of the best flag runners. We can get from one side of the map to the other, like on Colony, within 10 seconds, and then bring back the flag within another 10 seconds. So a map like War Games, like yeah, we're gonna love that.
I love it. All right, well, Team Zen, they're #1 on the ladder. Alfredo is a big part of that. Who else is on your squad? We want to give them a shout-out here. They're the #1 team on GB right now.
Oh, yeah, I've got to give a big shout-out to the whole squad. We've got, first off, Coach Seng Mao. Then we've got one of the best Titanfall players I've ever seen, Chaser. Then we have one of the best flag route runners. We have Chaser, we have Game Sager, we have Giggle Monster, we have Munoz, and Borland. Just a solid group of guys who just understand the game on a different level.
Awesome. And you guys are playing 5v5 or 6v6. What's your preferred game mode?
Our preferred game mode is 6v6, just because we know that there's no other team that has a better 6 than us. Once you get to like 4v4, then it gets a little tougher. But yeah, 6v6. But I feel like the competitive Titanfall scene will be geared towards more of 5v5 because of sponsorships, etc. It's hard to get a team of 6 together.
Always is. The more numbers, the more tough or more difficult it is to put a team together. Well, Alfredo, thank you so much for coming on the show. I know it's the middle of your workday. Make sure you check out his stuff. He's got some incredible top 5s. You can find it on YouTube. Alfredo, what's the channel?
Yeah, you guys want to head over to IGN.com. You guys can search Titanfall, and there'll just be a bunch of top 5 loadout videos, strats, etc. from myself, and that's incorporated with my teammate. Or just go to youtube.com/IGN, and then you've got all the information there if you type in Titanfall.
There you go. That is Alfredo Diaz, one of the best Titanfall players in the game right now. Not only when he's working, he's making highlight videos. You can check out some of those awesome clips on his channel, as he said, youtube.com/IGN. Also, reminder, $1,500 on the line for the ladder. Don't be afraid of his 111-1 record. You could take them down in the ladder, climb up there, and eventually get into the playoff bracket. Also, May 24th, I believe that's next Friday coming up, we're going to have a $500 tournament. If you're a Titanfall player on Xbox One, you want to get in. It's free to enter. You just want to try it out. You want to play with me? Hit me up. I'm in for some Titanfall. Get in there, play for your chance at $500. That is going to do it for our Titanfall segment. But after this, we got to talk about Halo 3 AM. Some news came out this morning about Halo 5. We'll break it all down with Saucy Source and Flamesword from Optic Gaming when we return.